everyone, and welcome back to the Joseph Ryder Anderson podcast. It is the afternoon where I am right now, drinking, but I'm still drinking some coffee, trying to wake up because I absolutely could not sleep last night from all of the exciting things going on in the world of TCGs, in the world of JosephRyderAnderson.com, and in the world of Union Arena. So I don't know if you were paying attention, but I certainly was to all of the crazy announcements coming out from Union Arena. Basically, it started last night. So I was at a tournament. I posted this in my Discord. I got, I think, third at a tournament, a store battle tournament, playing Mina, of course, which is my favorite deck right now. And I was at this tournament, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it felt like the Union Arena X account posted that we were getting 2 new titles. So that one of them is the ReZero, but the other one is 100 Girlfriends. So those are the 2 titles dropped. The thing that was a little bit funny about this is that usually the Union Arena people like to tease these announcements. I think for the Union Arena community, new title announcements are sort of a source of fun and gathering, and we can all get excited and guess what they are. I know last time they announced that we were going to get a title, I ran like a poll, or maybe I just asked in my Discord, like wrong answers only, what they thought it was going to be, and there were some really, really funny ideas. So that being said, it was kind of a little bit of a shocker that out of nowhere we got news about ReZero and the 100 Girlfriend set. But there might be a little bit more than meets the eye. I know I was seeing, about a week ago, I was seeing a lot of news circulating in my Discord, but also in other groups, about this survey that went out that seemed to imply that ReZero and 100 Girlfriends were already confirmed sets for the Union Arena. So a lot of people took that to mean that we were probably going to get those next 2 sets. So what I think probably happened is that was probably added by accident. It's not the first time this has happened. I think before this, that time I got reincarnated as a slime set was announced, they accidentally posted the announcement to their YouTube ahead of when they were supposed to, and someone caught that and shared that again in my Discord. By the way, if you're not already, I talk about my Discord a lot. We're very active on there. If you're not a member already, feel free to join. You can find the link in my YouTube or on my website. There's a lot of lively discussions that go on in there. It's a great group, so feel free to join that Discord. But Jaden, I think, shared that like a clip of that video that people were looking at for that time I got recorded by a slime. So somebody over at Union Arena keeps spilling the beans before they're supposed to, but maybe that is actually like a secret, ingenious way to build hype. So that would be super, super smart if that is what they're doing, because it's definitely working. People were definitely speculating heavily about the 100 Girlfriends and ReZero. So, but anyways, those were the 2 things that came out. So I was like, okay, that's awesome. We got 2 new titles, but I definitely did not anticipate what would happen next. And that was essentially a slew of information coming out about everything you could possibly want to know about, for the most part, for 2026, for Union Arena 2026. And it's very clear from all of these announcements coming out that Bandai still has very big plans for Union Arena in 2026. So at this point, I'm feeling like Union Arena may be the world's best kept secret because of how popular it is. And I get all the hype goes to some of these other recent TCGs like Riftbound and all that stuff. But yet Union Arena continues to have a devoted and growing and awesome fan and player base. So let's go ahead. We've talked about the new sets that are coming out. I don't know a whole lot about the 100 Girlfriend set. I do know there's I think at least one top tier deck that's likely to come out for ReZero, so that should be really exciting for players. There's no confirmed release date for ReZero yet. I would guess it's probably going to be towards the end of 2026, Q3 or Q4 2026. But we do have a release date for 100 Girlfriends, and that's not the only release date that we got. We also have a confirmed release date for Chainsaw Man. That's going to be really, really popular. Not only is Chainsaw Man popular already, but it just had that movie come out which I think did pretty well at the box office. I don't think it was anywhere near as popular as the Demon Slayer movie, but it still did really well at the box office. So I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be hyped for that set. And it's unusual because typically we don't get 2 new sets in the same month. Typically, it's a new set and a volume 2. New sets tend to drive a little bit more excitement than volume 2s, as there's just a lot more to explore. You bring in people from new fan bases. There's more new decks, more new mechanics to explore, whereas volume 2s typically just sort of, they are what they sound like. They add on to existing strategies and existing sets. So typically, Bandai doesn't release 2 of these in the same month, 2 new sets in the same month, which is really interesting that we're going to be getting that. So maybe that's going to be the new precedent. Who knows? But anyways, Chainsaw Man, if I didn't say it already, Chainsaw Man releases July 31st, 2026, and 100 Girlfriends releases July 10th. So I think that brings us up to August. We know all the sets through August. So again, I keep all of the release schedule updated on josephwrightanderson.com. So make sure to check that out. It's easy to find. You just go up to the Union Arena tab, hover over it, and it's under the release schedule tab or link. That's not it though. There's that normally would be like a good month's worth of new announcements coming from Union Arena, but that's not all. Clearly, they want to build some hype going into 2026. My guess even is I think when things like this happen, it's hard for me just to when things out of the normal happen. This isn't just for Union Arena. This is in areas of business or with people. I tend to be okay, there's something causing that, right? And I think I would not be surprised if the last 2 sets have performed so well for Bandai that volume. So just a little inside information for you. On my end, Nikkei was probably the biggest set that I saw given web trends for Union Arena so far. And Demon Slayer Volume 2 was not far behind it. Both those sets were super popular. So maybe Bandai is seeing some really good sales numbers and stuff. And so they're like, okay, we want to keep this fire going. So let's drop a bunch of news, keep people excited for 2026. And surely there is a lot to be excited about. The other thing that was released is something also a little out of the usual, which is a short rare battle season. Well, that's not short in terms of length. It's still a month-long rare battle season, but it's a little bit smaller. There's only 2 rare battles to take part in. I think the last time we had a rare battle this size was back when One Punch Man. So somebody comment and tell me if I'm wrong. In my memory, I think One Punch Man and Demon Slayer happened together and they were the only 2 going on. So it's been a while since we've had a rare battle season of just 2. I think that's fun though. I think it's nice. You can just focus on those 2. I cannot wait for the Demon Slayer Volume 2 rare battle. That's going to be an extremely fun rare battle. The original Demon Slayer rare battle was pretty fun too, but it just felt like back then Tanjiro was just massively better than anything else you could use. I'm usually able to play a little off meta and win a rare battle, but in that set I didn't win either of my rare battles. I think I got second or so at both. I think I got second at both, playing Gyataro Daki. But all of a sudden the playing field is much more even. Yeah, yellow Tanjiro does get a huge buff. We were just testing that last night at locals with my friend Steven, or Vexen as he's known, online, and that guy was having a crazy good night and beat me 4 times in a row, which I was very upset about, but I've recovered. And he was playing Tanjiro for some of it, and it was crazy the plays that having that color trigger Tanjiro opens up. It's really cool to see that. But I just won a store tournament with Blue Demon Slayer. That's just that was against your typical meta, right? And Blue Demon Slayer is really strong. I posted it to the website. It's been a really popular article this week, but it was I basically went to a tournament a week ago, and I was kind of the store I went to had opened a bunch of boxes, were selling singles, and so I just used what they had on hand to build kind of a makeshift Kanroji Nezuko Tanjiro deck, and holy cow, that deck is fun. It's got a little too much going on to be S tier, but I think it's A tier. I think I'm gonna update my tier list and make that an A tier deck after that experience and going undefeated in that tournament. that deck is just so strong and so fun. I'm definitely going to play that in my rare battle. So people who are going to be at my rare battles, watch out. But definitely nice to have something else to play other than Gyutaro Daki. But there's just a lot of decks. Muzan's going to be strong in that format. Tanjiro, of course. Blue Demon Slayer is going to be strong. People are going to probably run Rengoku. That'll be strong. It's going to be one of the more fun rare battles we've had in a while. But Nikkei is also going to be a super fun rare battle. I think Nikkei is a set that right now feels more like it was made for the rare battle format than the store tournament format. Its decks are a little underpowered compared to what we have, but in a rare battle format, it should be super fun. We did the release event that I won, and that was an incredibly fun release event. There's just so many unique mechanics and things that you don't see in regular decks, but it should be really, really fun. And that one should be super popular because it's got the Rappy, which is should be probably one of the more valuable winter cards we've had. I know she's been very popular. I think it was actually the same design as this. Was really popular for the regional tournaments. It's made a lot of money, sold for a lot of money. The one that you can get from winning those tournaments or whatever, however that works, I forget off the top of my head. But yeah, super cool, super cool stuff. I don't actually have a Nikkei deck yet. I'm kind of regretting. I think I sold a couple singles. I'm kind of regretting doing that now because I'm like, oh gosh, I should probably pick up some singles now and build a Nikkei deck just to try to get that Rappy. So I'll probably play. I'll either play Modernia or I'll play the yellow Modernia, or I might even play that purple one with the Inherit. No, not Inherit. It's the purple Pioneer Pilgrim one. That might be cool. Anyways, super fun formats are going to be coming up. That's going to be a really killer rare battle season. But more importantly for a lot of people is that we are going to get a new championship season in 2026 and 2027. That is going to be really cool because it was a bit rushed this year. We didn't get regional tournaments until the end of the year. And I know I had planned to go to the Bandai Card Fest in Dallas, and then there was a regional in LA that I went to, and I didn't really have time for both scheduling wise. So I only made it to one regional. But next year there should be opportunities to go to a bunch of regionals. They're going to have like 2 waves, I think is what they said. So 2 different waves. So a lot of people can have an opportunity to qualify for the North American Championships. And that's just going to be a more positive experience than having to rush to a bunch of regionals in a short period of time. And moving on from that, so those are the biggest announcements. Now we have some stuff that was revealed for the upcoming sets, and this stuff's super exciting. I don't know if anybody out there is as obsessed with Sword Art Online as I am. I'm a new, I don't know what you would call it, but I've been recently introduced to Sword Art Online as of sometime last year, or sorry, actually earlier this year, 2025. It was just earlier this year. I think it was like maybe February. I got into the SAO, February, March, and I got hard into it. Read everything. I've seen everything there is to see about it. I've read the books ahead, all the way through, like way past where the anime is at. So I'm just super into Sword Art Online, and I'm not gonna lie, the feeling I've been getting with these spoilers coming out every day from the Union Arena X account is where I follow them. I've been feeling like a little bit like how I felt when I was a kid getting an advent calendar every day. You know, when you open those little like chocolates and you get an advent calendar thing every day. That's how I've been feeling with Sword Art Online. So thank you, Union Arena, for bringing back Christmas cheer into my life. But anyways, what's been announced for Volume 2, they did share the release event winner. So I think I said about the Nikkei winner that God better help anybody who gets in the way of me and the Nikkei winner. And I was totally joking about that because I'm not really invested in Nikkei. I don't really know anything about Nikkei. But I really do mean it for anybody who's going to be going to my release events. If you see me signed up for a release event, beware, because this winner card looks amazing. It's with Asuna from the Progressive arc. I don't think I'm going to have time to go and win a playset of these, but I definitely want to win one, and then I'll probably buy the rest online. It looks just awesome. And also, the Evangelion release event is featuring Rei. Rei's a pretty cool character. A lot of people like her. I liked her a lot, actually. When I just recently watched the rebuild. And that was fantastic, by the way, for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. I watched the rebuild, which I think is what the card set is based on. So Rei has this, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, place up to one of them into your sideline. That's a really strong filtering effect. and the remaining cards top your deck. That's basically what that Byakuya, the 1-cost Byakuya is, and that's a really strong card. So I'm sure she's going to be really, really popular. A lot of people are going to be trying to get her. Because if you don't know already, Evangelion is a bonkers set. In Japan, it's topping like everything. So it's definitely it may be the strongest set we've had to date in the Union Arena English version. So I'm actually kind of hoping they do some things to make it so it's not so dominant. I think a couple things they could do is they could cut some cards. I don't want to pretend to know what those are, what cards those would be, but maybe they could cut some cards like they did to Kenshin. I know they caught that fake 2-cost from Red Kenshin to keep it from being too strong. Or maybe they could not restrict the 1-cost Yuna from Sword Art Online. So the Yuna deck, which we've already seen, so that's another cool thing. We have had it confirmed. I thought they might cut the 1-cost Yuna because they had to limit it in the Japan meta. But I thought they might just cut it altogether. They often do that, right, when the sets come to the English version. But they didn't. They're including the 1-cost Yuna to make that Yuna deck stronger. And I'm kind of thinking, what if they don't restrict it? Like, what if they don't restrict the 1-cost Yuna and they just let it be free? So there's some more variety at the top. So it's not just, I think it could very well end up being that the North American Championship ends up being an Evangelion rare battle, right? Because those decks are so strong and everyone's so hyped on those. But anyways, all that to say, the Ray winner release event card should be super, super popular and sought after. And then the final thing, the final section I want to go over are the cards released or revealed, the SR, the SR triple star cards released, we're going to get with Sword Art Online Volume 2 and with the Evangelion set. So let's talk first about the Sword Art Online ones. The Asuna Progressive, holy cow. If you don't know, the Asuna SR triple star from the first set of Sword Art Online is the most valuable SR triple star that's not serialized. So serialized cards are always going to be more valuable. But of the non-serialized cards, the Asuna is the most valuable. Of the Union Arena cards you can get in packs that aren't serialized, the Asuna from the first set is most valuable. And I like this one better. I like this Asuna better. It's a gorgeous card. I love the colors. This card is really strong. This deck's going to be strong. The progressive deck's going to be strong. And then you do get the progressive Kirito, you're going to play in the deck. Obviously, you're probably not going to play the SR triple star because it's going to be too valuable. But these are both fantastic cards, both beautiful, and I would freak out if I got the Asuna SR triple star. People who are excited about Evangelion, though, are going to go nuts over this card. I'm calling it a Shinji card because Evangelion test type 01 pseudo DMS phase serialized just doesn't have the same ring to it. But there is a serialized version of the Shinji SR triple star. This guy is super strong in the game. Again, another card you're not going to want to run. You're not going to run the SR triple star in your deck unless you're crazy, which, if you do, send a picture and post it and tag me because I have seen some people do crazy things and that would be awesome. But assuming you don't, you put this in a binder, you put this up in your, a slab somewhere, especially if you get a serialized, those things are worth some serious money. But this is going to be a huge chase. And it's always fun to get serialized cards in general. I know people have been sharing a bunch of serialized pulls. I freaked out when I got my Tanjiro serialized, and I freaked out hard. But I've been seeing I think I've seen 3 or 4 different serialized people have been sharing in my Discord, in the polls channel. And I'm like, man, you guys make it look like serialized grows on trees. So I guess it's just a really lucky group of people there. But yeah, that's everything that's come out for the news this week, really over just the last 24 hours. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was fun. I hope that I didn't go on too many tangents. I did definitely go on a lot of tangents, but this is sort of a chill, laid back episode. I just wanted to go over some of the news. I think it's probably maybe the last really big bit of news that we're going to get for 2026, other than hopefully we just keep getting those spoilers leaked out. But it definitely shows that Bandai has very big plans for Union Arena in 2026, and I think 2026 should be just as fun, if not actually probably more fun than 2025. I know 2025 was a little slow at the start, in between some sets. 2026 does not seem slow at all. It seems like it's going to pick up really quick, and it's going to be a really, really fun time. So I hope you enjoyed that. Like and subscribe. Follow me on X. Join the Discord. Check out josephryderanderson.com for the latest updates well before you're going to ever hear them on the YouTube channel. And until next time, keep on battling.